Hey, good afternoon from Stop Doing Nothing and Focus World Headquarters here in Oklahoma City. It's your buddy Patrick from Stop Doing Nothing. And as we roll into 2019, I thought it would be very important for you to see what we're working on in 2019 and how we're kind of changing the face of business. And if I don't have precise eye contact with the camera, I apologize. I've kind of got my podcast YouTube camera on the right and the Facebook Live camera on the left. And so I might kind of alter my eye contact between those two. So for those of you that are tuning in live or recorded, do me a favor and drop a comment below as to where you're from. I'm always interested to see the diversity of places that people tune in from and what they do and just how they affect business. Now the first thing, I'm going to sidestep at talking about business real quick and talk about something pretty cool happening here. First of all, I need to get a knife out. I know that sounds very threatening. My good buddy John gave me a knife a while back. That's because I have to open up a package right here for those for you. For those of you that are listening on the podcast, I apologize, but hey, just believe me, I'm opening up a package. We're doing something pretty cool. I had a friend of mine a while back make some Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts. A gentleman named Henry Israel here in Yukon, Oklahoma, at a place called We Embroider. He does really cool custom embroidery. And he made me some custom Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts. And by the way, go check him out. He's at weembroider.com. And he made me some custom Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts a while back. I'm not wearing one now, but it had some cool embroidery on the front and some very inspiring messages on the back that he and I worked on. And those got pretty popular. And I had a lot of people at the gym and other places asking me where I got those made. And I told them Henry, but I was looking for a way to get them mass produced. So we have that set up through a slightly different channel, but you can order them online now. And what I did, for those of you on the podcast that you can't see me, is I have a package here, and I've been waiting to do a video to show you guys what they look like. So let me cut this open real quick. And you can order these online. So I've been having them shipped to clients. If you ever become a client, you're going to get one way or another. It's going to be very cool here that I don't cut myself because this knife is very sharp, and this knife was given to me as a friend for being a groomsman at a wedding, and within about 5 minutes of me having this knife, I cut myself, so I'm not to be trusted around sharp objects. So let's see what these cool shirts look like. My first one, seeing them of the new style. I've got plenty of the old style, so we're just going to toss that over there, and let's open up the secondary package right here. And again, you guys can get these, and this is not a shill for you guys to buy one, but I've had plenty of requests for people to get one. So open it up here. This is pretty cool. Knowing me, this is probably a XX. So let's take the tag off. I like black shirts. So this one is definitely black on the front right here. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's got, of course, Stop Doing Nothing in the absolute font I like. And then this one, this phrase I put on the back has been quite popular, and it says, done is better than perfect. So for those who know which camera you're looking at there, done is better than perfect. So these are available along with some other t-shirts over at store.stopdoingnothing.com. And again, that's not what this video is for, but I got this in the mail, and so I thought this would be pretty cool. So again, if you're interested, it says Stop Doing Nothing on the front and done is better than perfect on the back. And I have a variety of shirts like this, along with some artwork, along with a coffee cup over at store.stopdoingnothing.com. If you ever want to check that stuff out, it's kind of my philosophy here on life and how you handle things and how you need to deal with your marketing or your personal life or personal development or anything like that. So that's my philosophy. So enough talking about the t-shirt. 3 things I want to put on your radar for 2019 when it comes to not sucking in your business. And I believe that was the title of this video I put up there. How to not suck on your business in 2019. I've got some 3 points here I want to cover, but I'm also kind of curious as to what you're going to change in your business in 2019. So do me a favor, drop a comment below, and whether it's live or recording, and I'll get back to you as to whether or not that I think that's something you really should focus on, because this is something we do all day long. And this isn't going to take too terribly long, but again, I want to get you set up for the year because it's the 27th right now. We've got 3 or 4 more days to go. I can't remember. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So December is the 31-day month. December is the 31-day month. Okay, here we go. 3 things I want you to keep on your radar for 2019. The first being the one right in front of your eyes is that I cannot preach to you. You almost cannot do too much media for your business. And whatever shape or format you choose to do it in, that's completely up to you. but find a way to do media on a regular basis. And by media, I'm talking about the stuff you're seeing in front of you. Facebook Lives, they're appropriate, recorded media, podcast media. I don't consider anything that's like textual written. I don't consider that. That's not the kind of media I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about magazines or more blogging or things like that. Those things are okay. You know what? Those things are also easy. Those things are next to free, and everybody is doing them, and so they are highly, highly competitive. What you are watching in front of you right now in your niche, whatever it is, whether it be, bathtubs or bathrobes or washcloths or tennis shoes, what you're seeing right in front of you is what you can really use to stand out in your business. It's flipping on the camera and becoming one-on-one with the person on the other side of the camera or the other side of the screen and just talking to them like a friend. Open up the camera and say, hey, it's your buddy Patrick. This is what we got going on here. Hopefully this will help in your business. And if it doesn't, maybe the knowledge you have from this will help somebody else in their business so you can pass it on. Just be that simple with your video. We just got, we're talking very close to starting with another client here locally in Oklahoma City who is very gung-ho into business, so much to the point where we're making a shopping list for them of the audio and video equipment we want them to buy, because they're going to build basically a miniature video studio based on our recommendation. And I don't think that would be a bad investment for any business to set aside part of the physical location as a miniature, video studio, if you will. And so whether you're working in there or your clients are working in there or you find other uses for it, you've already got a place set up for it. You don't have to go out of your way to set up lights and all that stuff for it. It's just always ready and raring to go for you. And so please do me a favor and invest in more video. If you ever want equipment recommendations, let us know here. You can go to the Focus website, allaboutfocus.com or stopdoingnothing.com. Drop them in the contact form and I'll get back to you with some video recommendations, because one of my favorite things to do is to invest in video equipment on Amazon. I'm probably buying something video related, every single year. So do me a favor and do that. Another thing I want you to look at also is try to find a way when you're doing this. This would be point number 2 here. So point number 1 is the investing in video. Point number 2 is for you to, when you're talking about your products or services, come at it from an education and entertainment perspective. We spent some time researching the most popular YouTube channels out there, everything from PewDiePie to little kids reviewing toys to everything out there. And the best video channels out there are ones that educate and entertain at the same time. You don't have to make a fool of yourself, and don't go out of your way to force it. But if you can find a way to make your message more appealing, to make it humorous, to I don't know, jump cutting is a really big thing. Throwing music in there, causing some emotion to come up with your video, to talk about things that have nothing at all to do with your product or service. People will really dig this stuff about you. They're looking for the human side of your business. And people are trying really hard to do this media thing, but they're not doing it as a human being. They're doing it as a business, and they feel it has to be very scripted and very planned. And as a result, they're kind of really screwing it up, if you ask me. They're not letting the human being come across. I mean, if you're having a good day, talk about that on video. If you're having a bad day, maybe talk about that. If something cool is happening in your business, or you discovered a new product line, or you're really excited about a big sale, you can talk about all that stuff. But please do me a favor, and if you're going to invest in the media side of your business, put a human side on it. I just really don't want you to screw up in this area. I do give out a lot of advice when it comes to turning your business into a media business, but all too often, like I said, people just get really stoic about this and they don't know how to relax. They don't know how to pull that, that stick out of their butt, and they just get really too focused on trying to be, a Dan Rather or a news reporter on camera, and no one's looking for that. Man, if you're selling tennis shoes, people want to know how they make their feet feel. I always like to tell people, I was in a Facebook group the other day talking about a company wanted to know some pay-per-click advice because they were selling socks on Shopify is what it was, and I have a Shopify store. That's where the t-shirts come from. And they were like, I spend this much money on socks, and our socks are really comfortable, and our socks are really great, and our socks and our socks and our socks do this, and our socks do that. And I kept pushing them, what's unique about your socks, and why do you want why do you want to sell more socks? And they kept going and going on about these stoic answers. And I had to remind them, listen, remember that when you have a sock store, you're not selling socks. And this is a key thing in marketing that you kind of have to remember, is more than likely whatever you are selling is something that brings pleasure to your client or something that removes pain. And that's what you have to talk about. So if you have a sock store, do me a favor and don't talk about socks. Talk about feet and talk about foot pain, and push in the nail there where you talk about foot pain and the fact that that what you have, your product relieves foot pain or it brings pleasure. I mean, talk about when you have socks, for example. I would think about on Christmas morning, which just passed, how great it feels to when the house is cold and you can find a warm pair of socks, and the warm pair of socks along with the family under the tree and a good cup of cocoa. I mean, that's like the perfect Christmas morning right there. So if you're selling socks, or you're selling shoes, or you're selling pretzel sticks, or you're selling steaks, or you're selling cell phones, or you're selling, who knows what you could be selling. You're selling car doors. Do not talk about that product so much as the pain that product removes or the pleasure that product brings. People are buying for one of two reasons. They're buying from looking for more pleasure or trying to get rid of pain. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Michelle and Catherine, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. So whatever product you have out there, it's important that you find the pleasure part of it. And this may take some work, and this may take you getting some other people in your company involved to figure out, what pleasure does our product bring, or what pain does it solve? Remember, people don't want to buy socks. They don't want to buy shoes. They don't want to buy roofs over their head. They don't want to buy doors. They don't want to buy cars. Why do you buy a car? You buy a car because it feels good, because you like being comfortable when you drive from point A to point B. That's why you buy a car. You buy a certain kind of car because it has heated seats, which makes your bottom feel good, and no one has, nobody doesn't want to feel good on their bottom in their car. Same reason you buy shoes. You don't buy shoes because you think the wrapping rubber and tread and shoelaces and leather and all that stuff around your feet is something that you really thought about when you woke up in the morning. That's not why you buy shoes. You don't get a roof over your head because you thought it would be really cool to get 100 shingles with a little bit of gravel on them over your head. You buy a roof over your head because it makes you feel comfortable, and it makes your family feel happy, and it makes you feel safe. And hey, Angie, and all these things out there. That's why you buy these things. So in your company, in your business, do me a favor and find a way to emphasize that more. Remember, whatever product you're selling, you're not selling that product. You're selling the benefits it brings. Okay, I've hopefully beat on that horse quite a bit. So we've covered the more media and the better media, and the entertaining, the educating, and also selling from a pleasure pain perspective. And the last thing for 2019 I want you to remember, to help your business not suck in 2019, is to make more financial based marketing decisions. And this is something that we are doing more and more for our clients. So of course, if you want to talk about this, let me know and we can get into this discussion right here. But we are doing things in marketing now where we are making decisions based only on quantifiable data. And what I mean is, obviously you've heard me talk before about testing and the importance of testing and A/B testing and putting value on things. But for example, we're creating dashboards now. When someone hires us, someone hires us and we fly in as a marketing agency, and we're setting up an entire marketing strategy for them. What we're doing is we're placing a value on everything so we can gauge how well certain things are working. And I'll give you a quick example here. Every single person that comes to your website has a value. Every single person that signs up for your free email list or texts in for your SMS marketing or gets on your Infusionsoft list. We're huge Infusionsoft users, and we're even a certified partner now. People who do that, they all have value. Some have more value than others. Let's say, for example, someone who comes to your website, place a value on them sometime. Place an arbitrary value. Let's say, 50 cents or a dime or something. The actual amount doesn't really matter. What we're trying to do here more is kind of keep track of the intrinsic, the value of someone. And because what you want to do is you want to compare that to the value of other people on your website. So let's say an organic visitor that found your site, you think it'd be drinking in the middle of the day, because I would never do that. Let's say an organic visitor that came to your website, found you through SEO, search, or whatever, okay? Give that person a value. It's a very low value. They are very early in the funnel. We don't know what their return is yet, but we know they have a value of some sort. Let's say 10 cents. Give somebody who takes action on your site, like signs up for a free download, a higher value. If someone gets on your email list to me, I start putting their value at like $1 or $5. And then as someone progresses through your funnel, you give them a higher and a higher value. And so what you start to be able to do is you can start gauging how well certain marketing methods are doing. For example, again, we have a dashboard now where we, on one side of our marketing dashboard for our clients, we have the different marketing methods that we're using. It could be Google paid search, Facebook paid search, it could be SEO, it could be inbound links. And then across the chart, we have how many of those people have converted and what the value of those people are. And it's pretty cool because you can instantly see which marketing methods, which marketing processes have higher value. And almost more often than not, which I could have predicted in the beginning, it's going to be the paid people. The paid people are the active shoppers right here. So people that click on your ads, at least in our research so far, the people that click on our ad, that click on the ads for our clients that we set up for them, have a higher value. They are more likely to take action. They are more likely to get on an email list, and they're more likely to buy something. But you know what? We can make those decisions based on actual data that we have. We're not guessing so much, and we're starting to use and implement more and more tools that allow us to make really good marketing decisions based on data. And it's not guesswork. It requires a little bit more setup work. It requires a little bit more analysis work. It requires a little bit more test work, but it's so cool to be able to, for us to be able to walk into a client now, like we fly across the country, right, to San Diego, and we sit down in a conference room with a client who hired us, and we say, look, this is what you're doing. This is what we are doing. This is what we decided to doing. Here was our ROI on, marketing strategy A, and here's our ROI on marketing strategy B. Marketing strategy A brought in, $60,000. Marketing strategy B brought in $20 million. Which one should we pump more marketing into? Which one should we focus on more? Let me think. And there's no more guesswork. Many of you out there, far too many, most people that are doing any kind of online marketing are just making decisions based on pure guesswork. Hey, look, today is December 27th. I've got a market today. Let's just throw the dice against the wall, the big fuzzy dice against the wall, and see what I work on. Maybe it should be a blog post. Maybe it should be a video. Maybe it should be a paid ad. Hell, I don't know. Just pick something. And we have to stop making marketing decisions based on that. So my third point here is making better marketing decisions based on financial data. And again, this is something we do all the time. If you want to know more about it, call or text us here at the office, 405-251-2022, or reach out to us on the website or in the video below, and we'll get in touch with you. But we are doing, in 2019, I'm going to make a big push for all of our clients to make better, got something just popped up here on my phone, to make better decisions based on actual quantifiable data, and not so much guesswork and not so much dice work. Because man, if I ever come to your office, you ever hire us, and I ever see any crapshoot or you throwing any dice for your marketing processes, I'm going to be all over your case. So again, as a quick recap for those of you tuning in here at the end, for 2019, for you to really jump on top of your business, I want you to focus more on media. Even consider setting up a video studio in your office. It's really relatively expensive. Probably get away with it for under $3,000, including lights, cameras, mics, and the actual physical setup. So that would be a good investment for you. Remember that you have to entertain and educate, and remember you also have to focus on the pleasure your products and services brings, or the pain that it removes. So if you're selling shoes, stop selling shoes. If you're selling socks, stop selling socks. If you're selling cars, start talking more about how your butt feels when you sit in the car. Don't talk about the metal and the sleek lines and the round rubber tires and the cool tread. Talk about the safety the car brings and the pleasure it brings to drive halfway across the country in a BMW versus a rusted out, 1945 station wagon. And of course, the last tip here is the financial-based marketing decisions. Please do me a favor and start making more quantifiable marketing decisions based on actual data and not guesswork. And for those of you tuning in at the very end, you didn't see the beginning, also check out something cool we have going on here. Oh yeah, we have a store now for Stop Doing Nothing, and you can get cool Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts. Sweet, look at that, Stop Doing Nothing t-shirts over at store.stopdoingnothing.com. This one says done is better than perfect on the back. But we have a bunch of other t-shirts over there and some coffee cups and I think one poster. I'm trying to get some artwork added to that store every single week because it's just kind of a cool message. And let me tell you, you start wearing that shirt and I motivate you, and you wear that shirt and you motivate somebody and they motivate somebody, we can spread a lot of kick-ass motivation around this world. Thank you for tuning in as always. I love each and every one of you. As always, you know, I obligatory say subscribe to the podcast if you're listening, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching, and of course subscribe and get notified over on Facebook if you're watching us live there. And until the next show, which might be, I mean, we're at the end of the week, it might be 2019 till we do a next show. Until next show, have a very Merry New Year, Happy New Year, excuse me. Please be safe out there. Don't go and do anything really wild and crazy out there. And you know what? We're going to catch you in the first week of 2019 where I'm going to continue to kick your ass to run a great life and run a great business. And if you need our help, talk to us soon. Otherwise, take care.